All right, so you're a veteran, you're trying to use your VA loan benefits, and when you request your certificate of eligibility, or COE as it'll be called, you get it back and it shows that your entitlement is 0. Let's talk about what that means and how exactly to restore that entitlement so that you can use your VA loan. I'm a mortgage broker and a veteran with over 20 years of experience helping people take advantage of the VA home loan. And this is something that is an area of confusion, and it comes up quite a bit actually, because over time, maybe you have a VA loan in the past and you want to reuse it, or you sold that house back in the day. There's all sorts of little different scenarios where within the VA's archaic system, your results come back showing that basically there's no money to lend to you. So let's talk about that. All right, so in order to get a VA loan, you're gonna be required to obtain what is called a certificate of eligibility, or a COE. And basically this is a document from the VA that states that you have entitlement to a VA home loan. Now, when you receive this, it's gonna show a number on it. Typically, if you have full entitlement, it'll show that you have $36,000 of entitlement. That's a little point of confusion as well, which I'll address in a minute. But the thing that I'm talking about right now is when you get that form back and the COE shows $0, right? Well, how do you fix that? Now, going back to the other thing I just mentioned, the $36,000, that's also an area of confusion because people are like, wait a minute, I'm only eligible to borrow $36,000? Now, the way that it works, back in the day, the VA would only guarantee loans up to $144,000. And the way the VA home loan program works is that essentially the VA guarantees 25% of whatever you borrow in case of default. So you get a VA loan from a lender, you stop making the payment and you go into foreclosure, the VA will pay the lender 25% of whatever you borrowed, up to $36,000. Well, that doesn't work that way anymore. Now you can borrow $4 million and the VA is still gonna guarantee 25%. But the VA, come on guys, I mean, I'm a veteran myself, and you go into the VA system and it's not exactly cutting edge technology. So with the VA, they still show the old numbers that are, go back decades. So that being said, what you want is your COE to show $36,000 of entitlement. That means you got full use of the VA loan. So let's talk about a few different scenarios that come up quite often where it will show $0 of entitlement, and then we'll talk about how to get it to $36,000. All right, so one area where this comes up a lot is you bought a house, you used your VA financing, and then you sold the home. The loan to the VA got paid off and you went and bought another house, but for whatever reason, you did not use a VA loan on that transaction. You did a Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, or whatever you did. Maybe you paid cash. In whatever circumstance, your VA entitlement was not restored. Now, this is really simple for you to fix. By the way, the fix for these are gonna be almost the same for these different scenarios. But the fix is basically, there's a form called an 1880, which you can fill out and actually mail to the VA. I don't recommend doing that though. Or you can use the VA's online portal, which we included a link to that in the description below to make it easy for you to find. The other way that you can get it done as well is just to have the lender that you're working with request it in their side of the VA portal. Like we do it for veterans all the time. It's a lot easier for us to do it because we know how to use the system, whereas you log in and it's like you don't do this every day. One of those three methods, basically answering some questions, will satisfy that and the VA will restore your entitlement. Basically, you'll get an updated COE and it'll show $36,000. Another scenario where this comes up is when you own a house, you bought the house, you used a VA loan, and you want to do a cash out refinance. Now the VA, they'll allow you to do a cash out all the way to 100%. If you're like somebody, you're most Americans and you're sitting on like 50% of your home's value in equity and you wanted to tap into that equity with your VA loan, the VA allows you to borrow up to 100% of your home's value. But when you request your certificate of eligibility, it doesn't necessarily always show up with that $36,000 in entitlement. But there's a way to get that. And it's basically, you've got to request the COE specifically to be doing a cash out refinance. Again, that's something I recommend that you just have us or the lender do for you. However, you can do it yourself on the VA portal, links in the description below, or if you want to use snail mail, fill out that 1880 and send it to Virginia. All right, so here's another scenario where it comes up where you want to use your VA benefits and your COE showing 0 entitlement, and it should be $36,000 in entitlement. All right, so you bought a house, you used a VA loan, and then you either paid that VA loan off or you refinanced into a different kind of loan, paying off that VA loan. You still own the property and you're renting it out, or you intend on renting it out. In that circumstance, if you want to use your VA entitlement again to buy another home, you're allowed to do that one time, and you can send in a form or fill out the online request or have the lender do it on your behalf to have your entitlement restored to the $36,000. Those are the 3 most common reasons why you'll get a COE that'll show $0 in entitlement when really you should have full entitlement of $36,000. If you got questions about this, I'd love to answer them. Put them in the comments below. If you'd like to work with me and my team, we'd love to work with you too. Please reach out to us. You can get our contact in the description below. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.